Welcome to Lsteps.Bgains in episode 6 of the DIY OT Tools mini-series, The Sponge. Throughout this series, we've been covering some fantastic but a little bit more elaborate DIY OT tools. Today we're going to cover something so simple, the sponge. When it comes to hand therapy tools, often those tools either favor strength or they favor dexterity. The advantage of the sponge is that we can target both in the clinic, and it makes a great home exercise tool. To make this tool, I often use a basic dish sponge. I like to buy them in the condensed form, so they're fantastic for storage. If you want to add a few extra exercises, you can grab a Sharpie and or a hair tie or rubber band. So what are some ideas that you can do with your sponge? Well, here, let me give you ideas for strength and dexterity. Hand strengthening exercises. First, the most obvious one is just the squeeze. Take that sponge and squeeze it. The claw. I tell my patients to open their hand. Put that sponge in there, slide it up. I tell them the middle knuckles. From here, go ahead, curl those fingers down like you're clawing it and squeeze. The scissors, go ahead, take those scissor fingers. You can either cut or hold. The pinch, you can pinch your sponge, or if you add that hair tie or rubber band, you can practice pinch, pull, down. Pinch, pull, down. To get that extension, we can do a finger pull, sliding one finger in there, either holding it vertical or horizontal on the table, just pulling one finger up and down. For more extension, the puppet. To do that puppet, take that rubber band or hair tie to the tip of the sponge. Go ahead, put the other hand inside the palm, lay those fingers flat. Use your strong hand to kind of bring that rubber band around the tips. Now from here, to do the puppet, you may want to hold one side of the rubber band down and then go ahead and open and close those fingers like a puppet. Fingers spread, similar to the puppet, but now instead of just going up and down, we're going to really spread all of those fingers wide. If a band placed horizontally is too easy, go ahead, put the band vertically and or maybe double up. Practice putting that band on vertically. Take it off, put on horizontally, and back and forth. Hand coordination. The flip. Keep that sponge horizontal, parallel to the floor. Work on those first 3 fingers only to flip that sponge up and down. The twirl. Keep the sponge vertical in the air. Use those first 3 fingers to twirl that sponge around. The wheel. To do the wheel, hold that sponge vertically. Then go ahead, use those fingers to roll it along. If the flip, twirl, roll is difficult, have that person start on the tabletop or in their own hand first. To combine the flip, twirl, wheel, you can go ahead, grab a Sharpie and put numbers on there, all sides, all directions, okay? Then have that person find number 1 facing them. Flip, twirl, wheel, find number 2 facing them. Flip, twirl, wheel, find number 3, all the way as many numbers as you want. The drop. To do the drop, have one arm hold that sponge on top and catch it with the other one. If an individual is struggling with releasing, which is very common, practice the mic drop. If that is difficult, teach that individual to use their unaffected arm to support the affected arm. Or have that individual hold the sponge up and then visualize opening and touching their chest. On a table, slide that sponge back and forth. Toss that sponge back and forth. You can mix it up. Have that person slide the sponge, find number 1. Slide, find number 2. Or mix it up like doing the drop twirl. And that's just a few ideas of how you can use something so simple like a sponge as a fantastic home exercise tool for strength and dexterity. If you have other ideas, please comment, email below, because your contribution can make a difference in the life of others. If you enjoyed this video, please press like, subscribe, share with others, because as occupational therapists, we are in this together.